are here, I do expect communication in some form, and that could be chatting. That could even be private chatting. Remember, you can privately chat to me. I just want to know you're here and paying attention. That's all. And then, of course, the camera's on. Eventually, that would be cool to get there. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. And sometimes having your mic on. So there we go. Okay, first things first. Let's talk about, oh, you guys didn't get a break. Shall we do that? Does anybody need a quick break? Anybody? Anybody? Okay, no problem. Let's go take a quick break. We will reconvene at 11:30. So go take a break. 11:30, we'll come back on, and we're going to get started. We've got lots of stuff to get through. And, ooh, I got to pause our recording. Start recording. Are we all here? I'm going to send my poll out again. Ooh, do you find some cool ones there? That's cool. Okay, I sent out the poll just to see if you're back from your break and you're ready to get started. Because I want to first talk about turning in assignments, because there's been a few issues with that, and it could be honest issues. That's why I want to just talk about it. You didn't get the poll. What kind of a device are you on, Emma? Are you on your phone or iPad? Laptop? Ooh, yeah, I like those. I want those to evolve. Those are cool. Huh. You totally should have gotten the poll, but it's okay. I'll make sure my poll questions are just like, hey, let's get started. So you just let me know in chat then, Emma. That's really weird. Do you have a Chromebook? Okay. Okay. That's weird. That is weird. Okay. Nadia, did you answer? I know you were going to go get a snack. Okay, cool. All right. Audrey, are you able to get polls and everything? Okay, great. All right, so what I want to talk about is first things first, handing stuff in. I have been getting a lot of assignments that have been turned in that aren't the correct assignment. Okay, so I want to show you guys that when you do things, uh-oh, somebody signed out. Is that Nathan? Yeah. No. Okay. So when you hand in assignments, okay, like for this week, you have to complete the quiz about square roots. This square roots quiz, when you look at the lesson, okay, you'll see that there's lots of good stuff in the actual lesson that explains how to do it. Okay, it might not work for you completely. You might need a little bit of extra help, whatever. That's what these live sessions are for. Okay, but there's lots of help there with square roots. We're going to talk about it a little more today. There's a video. Yeah, but then down here is where you actually go to do the assignment. You go to Math Excel for School, and Audrey, you're going to have to get a login. I will email Jim. He's the guy that does all the logins, and he'll get you set up, and then he'll let me know, and then I'll email you. So just look for an email from me today, okay? But until then, you can go work on like the introduction assignment, and there's like other math mindset assignments you can do. So, okay, so this is a separate thing, so this is this site here, this Math Excel. Okay, so let's say you go through and you do the assignment. You guys have to do the square roots assignment. It's right here. So let's say we're going to do it. Okay, this is the assignment. So let's say I did it all. I hit save. Oh, it has no effect during preview mode. Well then, assignment. So I'm going to go here. Homework and tests, and then I'll do square roots. So let's say I go through and I do all of these questions. Don't forget, when you're in the assignment, you do hit final check down here, and then you hit save to save your results. I don't know if some of you are forgetting to click save, because it looks like when I look in Math Excel that you have not done the assignment sometimes. Then you're going to go to this results page after you hit save, and you're going to copy this part, hit Control C, and then go into Moodle where it says attempt quiz now. And then sometimes you'll have to answer extra questions, but in the Math Excel part, you hit Control V to paste your score. Okay, and then you hit finish attempt, and then submit all and finish. So remember, you have to hit save in Math Excel first before you can hand it in. Because sometimes I grade it and it doesn't look like it's been completed in Math Excel. And some of you have found it out because you're like, oh no, why'd you enter a 0? And it's because it really wasn't done on my end. So I don't want you to do more work than you have to. Okay? Does that make sense, guys? What I just showed you, can you type yes or no if it doesn't make sense, please? Okay. Cool. Thanks, guys. All right, now let's say we're freaking out a little bit. And let's say it's, oh my gosh, it's Friday. I still have 2 math assignments to complete, and I really, really, really want to go outside. So I'm just going to say I did it, enter in 100%, and then I'll do it later. We don't do that. No, no, no. Okay, you can only submit assignments that are completed. If it's not completed, don't hand it in. Now, could you do it once and get, like, let's say the first time you did an assignment, you got like a 60 on it. And let's say you were like, you know what, it's Friday, I'm going to hand that in, and then I'm going to go back next week and fix it up. Can you do that? What do you guys think? Can you enter in like a 60 and then go back the next week and redo it to get it higher? Yes, Chase, you are right. Yes, you can do that. That's fine. But don't hand in an assignment through Moodle and say that you got 100, because I do go into Math Excel and I do check it. And if it's not done in Math Excel, I will put a 0 in there. And then it makes your grade go super low. It'll get it off your to-do list, but no, we don't want to do that. And then if I keep seeing that, then I'm just going to delete the attempt and make it go right back on your to-do list. So please don't do that, okay? Okay, now if you're stuck, if you're really, really stuck and you don't know what to do, what should we do? What do you guys think? Lots of options here. Lots of things you could say. If you're stuck, if you're working on your assignments in Math Excel and you just have, ask me for help. Seriously. I will meet with you guys. And Cade, I'm going to use you an example. Is it okay? If it's okay. Cade and I met, and was it helpful, Cade? We blasted through 2 assignments, and he was done. It was so helpful. painless. I think we got done in less than an hour. Was it like a half an hour? You know, we can blast it out. Now that doesn't mean that Jen was doing the work and Kate was just typing it in. No, you know, you still got to do. Yeah, we got it done. We were awesome. So if you're having trouble, now let's say you're an anxiety-ridden person, such as myself, and you prefer the company of. Ew, there's a giant spider on my window. Ew. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, let's say you prefer the company of your cat and your computer instead of your lovely teacher. That's okay. I'm not offended. You can email me and I can send you. It's on the outside. It's big. Oh. You can email me and I will send you an explanation. I know, it's really gross. Or a video, okay? So you can say in the email, Jen, I'm really confused on this assignment. Please send me a video helping me out. Or please meet with me or whatever. Okay? Ugh, I couldn't do that. My kitten does that. Yeah. Yeah, Audrey, spiders are so gross. My kitten does that. She will bite the legs off and then watch it kind of struggle to move around. I'm like, you're psycho, kitten. My goodness. Psychotic kitten. That's what I have. Snakes are creepy. I hate both. Ugh. Too gross. Too gross. Oh my gosh. To help them. To help them eat them. Pull the legs off. What a way to go. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, yep. My poor cat tried to kill a bee, a bumblebee, and yeah, she got stung. That was over summer. I had to take her into the office to get um, some medicine. So yeah. All right. So that is all I want to mention about assignments and all that. Now, this is what's due this week. You guys have a math mindset quiz. So, Audrey, that would be something you could work on until you get your um, hello person who came back. Yay! Nathan, so good to have you back. Um, so yeah, so Audrey, you would need Mood or Math Excel for these two assignments here in the middle. The STAR test, you guys, most of you, if you did it in orientation, you don't have to do it again. All you have to do is to go in there and type in done in orientation. That's okay, Nathan, no problem. Thanks for letting me know and thanks for coming back. So yeah, and if you have not done a STAR test yet, there's information on the lesson, how to log in and everything. If you need help, just let me know. Okay? Okay. So today we are mostly oh yeah, moths, they explode in like that dust. It's so gross. Ugh. Okay, so today we have to mainly talk about squares and square roots, but let's talk about scientific notation, okay? We're just gonna blast through it a little bit. Scientific notation is a different way of representing a number, okay? It's always gonna be, and this is where I would maybe take notes if you had trouble on this. This is stuff from last week. So Audrey, if you just want to kind of listen, that's okay. Because I'll have you just start fresh this week. But yeah, scientific notation is a different way of representing a number. So it's a number that's either really, really big or really, really small. It's always going to be a number times 10 to a certain exponent, and that exponent represents the number of zeros. Okay? If the number here is positive, it means you're going out to the right. Could be a negative, meaning you're going the other way. You'll always have a single digit number out front here. It might be a decimal, that's fine, but it's always got to be a single digit. Okay, so that's kind of the first part there. So if you want to write something in scientific notation, you're basically wherever the decimal is, or if there is no decimal, you put the decimal after the first whole number digit. So if you have like the number 208, the decimal goes right here. Then you're going to move the decimal until you just have a single digit number in front of the decimal. Okay? Write all numbers after the first. Yeah. So I feel like these steps are really weird. Place the decimal right after the first. Oh, I guess. Oh, okay. They're saying just move it. That's what they're saying. Write all until you get to the zeros. Drop the zeros. Count how many places you moved. Yeah. So basically, you're just moving that decimal. So here we have 5,326.6. You're going to move the decimal until you have a single digit whole number in front. Then you put times 10, and then you count how many spaces you move that decimal. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Okay. Yeah, kind of the same deal here. So let's look at this number right here. We'll just do it one time. This guy. Where is the decimal in that number? What do you guys think? Where's the decimal in that number? That's where it's supposed to end up. You're absolutely right. That's where we want to put it, between that 4 and 3. But where is it now, technically? In this big number here, where is it hiding? Yeah, all the way at the end of the zeros. Very good, Emma. So all I have to do is count how many spaces it takes to get from the end of the zeros to between the 4 and the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm going to include all of the numbers. So 4.3 I already knew. And then I'm going to add the 5 and the 6. And then I put in at times 10. And what would my exponent be? What do you guys think? 10. Yeah. Why is it 10? Why is my exponent a 10? Yeah, because I moved the decimal 10 spaces to get where it needs to go. Very good. Does anybody, I know Emma was kind of taking point on there, does anybody have questions on that? Go ahead and put no if you have no questions on that. Or if you're still a little unsure, you could put IDK. Put a happy face, smiley face. You can give me some love. Whatever, type something indicating how you're feeling right now. Oops, I sent that to Freya privately. That probably looked a little weird. There we go. Addie is good. Goof. No, I'm just kidding. No questions. Evan's good. That's what I've sent it. Good. with all your teachers? Oh my gosh. You're just too fun to text with, Freya. Jeez. No, I'm just kidding. But you probably are. Okay, so we're good. So let's say she is not. Seriously, every single student is the favorite. You guys are amazing. I'm be awesome. Yeah. Oh yeah. Bossum. That's what my son would say. My son likes to combine words. Beyond awesome. From Bolt, right? Is that from Bolt? Yep. He's be awesome. I love that movie. Okay, now let's say you go in your calculator and you see this 3.1 e plus 8. What does that mean? So let's say you calculated it and you got 3.1 e plus 8. What does the e stands for? That is scientific notation, I will tell you. But what does that e mean? It doesn't mean you're supposed to go e 8 times. What you think? Exponent. Yeah, Emma, nice job. So it'd be 3.1 times 10, and it says the exponent is a positive 8. Very good. Nice job. So if you see that in your calculator, that is what that means. Okay, so if you want to convert it to the number, it's kind of same way-ish. It just tells you how many times to move that decimal. So here, the decimal is right between the 8 and the 4, and we have to move it 3 times to the right because this is a positive 3. 1, 2, 3. And anytime you have a space that you move, 1, 2, 3. What am I going to fill in after the 3 there? What would I put in there? A 0. Right. Very good, Audrey. Thank you. We're going to put a 0 in there. And it's kind of the same deal here. Here, where would I start? Where would that decimal be? Is the decimal in front of the 6 or behind the 6? Where is that pesky decimal? In front of the 6 or behind it? If you don't see it there, it's behind, right? It could be in front, Emma. It certainly could. But that would only be if it said 0.6. And it wouldn't really say that because we need to have we always need to have a whole number there. So it's behind. So we would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're going to fill in with that many zeros. And I knew that's what you meant. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. So that's our number. Good. Did this stuff give you guys a lot of trouble? Oops. So which way would I move the decimal if it's a negative 5? Would I move that decimal right or left? (9.5). Do I go to the right or do I go to the left? Left, yeah. Why do I go left, Emma? How do you know that? Because it's negative. You're right. Since it's a negative, you're going to go left 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 0.0000095. Yeah. If it's ever a negative, you go left. Unless you're Zoolander, because he can't turn left, right? I don't know. Okay. So when the number is greater than 10, the power is positive. When the number is less than 1, the power is negative. So if you have a big, big, big decimal, it's going to be a negative power. If you have just a big number, it's going to be positive. Okay, so all of these are decimals. Where do I start again for this 7 times negative to 10 to the negative 7? Where is that decimal in that first one? Where is it hiding? Is it in front of the 7 or behind? Yeah, it's still behind. Don't let it confuse you because it's going to be a small decimal. It's still behind. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you fill in with a whole bunch of zeros. Yeah, very good. Okay, so really quickly, I want to talk about multiplying these powers. Now, if, let's say you're really confused and let's say it's just not working for you, if all else fails, I'm going to refer you to a super awesome website called desmos.com/scientific. This is an awesome calculator that you are welcome to use, because I would rather that you do it and you have a little calculator assistance instead of not doing it. So let's say that we had to multiply 2.5 times 10 to the 4th. I can type that right into Desmos just like how they have it. 2.5, not 8, Jen. 2.5 times 10, and then I'm going to hit this A thing to the 4th. No. Space. There we go. Sometimes you just have to be careful with how you space it out. Okay, 2.5 times 10 to the 4th times 3.4 times 10 to the 5th times 3.4 times 10 to the 5th. And check it out, what it shows you. What does it show you, guys? Do you see that? They even write it in scientific notation. How thoughtful is that? Who thinks this calculator is pretty awesome? It's super amazing. It lets you simplify fractions and everything. So if you're really confused, go to Desmos and just type it in, okay? But all we're doing mathematically is we multiply the numbers. So we're multiplying 2.5 times 3.4, and we get 8.5. And then what do you do with exponents when you're multiplying and the bases are the same? What do we do with those exponents?
You add them?
Right, very good. Thank you. We would add them. So 4 plus 5 gives us 9. Bingo, bango, done. Okay, so you're just multiplying the numbers, add the exponents. So let's do that here. Let's multiply the numbers. 5 times 1. What's 5 times 1? 27? 32? 5. Very good. It's 5. And then we're going to add the exponents. 4 plus 5. What's 4 plus 5? 9. Yes, it is. Very good. That's it. And we don't have to fix it or anything because this is still a single digit. Sometimes, if it's not a single digit, you might have to move it back into scientific notation. And I should have an example to show that. There we go. So see in this one, guys, we multiplied the numbers and we got 42.33. Okay, so we still add the exponents, but we're only allowed to have a single whole number digit in front there. It's got to be 9 or less. So we move the decimal plate one spot to the left, and since you move it to the left, you're adding 1. Right? If we move to the right, you subtract 1. Okay, so we moved it to the left, so we add 1. So it's 10 to the 11th. So sometimes you have to fix it there. Okay, I'm checking our time. Oh my goodness. 11:30 we started. So we still have time, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, we have time. Good. So let's keep on cruising. It's kind of the same deal with dividing exponents. We divide the numbers and subtract those exponents. Okay, divide the numbers, subtract the exponents. Can you type that into Desmos? What do you guys think? Can we do that? Can we type it right into Desmos? Sure can. Yup, it will work. It will work beautifully, in fact. But let's do the math here. So we're going to go 4.2 divided by 1.4. What do you get when you do that? What's 4.2 divided by 1.4? You can use your phone calculator. I suppose I really didn't give you warning to get that out, so if you can, that'd be lovely. Give it another minute of listening to these alarms here. Just the noon alarm. What do you guys think? Nobody has a calculator today? What? Ha, Emma, woohoo, 3, very good. So 3 goes in that spot there, and then we're going to subtract those exponents. We got to be careful because they're both negative. So we want to go -7 minus -4. What am I really doing here if I have -7 minus -4? What do those minuses in the middle turn into? What is the minus in the middle? What is that problem really asking you to do? It's asking you to subtract -4, which is the same as doing what? Minus turns into? The suspense is killing me. What does it turn into? We're live. Yay, Emma, yay, thank you. And it turns into a plus. So that would be -7 plus 4, which is what? What's -7 plus 4? I owe Freya $7, and then I have 4 to pay her back. Do I still owe her money? I owe her $3. Yeah, very good. 3 times 10 to the -3. Very good. And again, Desmos will tell you that, but you still need to know how to do it. Okay, now we're talking about this week's material. So if you were not taking notes, please take notes. Are we ready for this week's material? I'm going to be annoying and throw my poll out there again. Are you ready to get started? It's like a book that my daughter has. Is everybody ready for fun? That's what it's called. She's always like, no, whenever we do it. What do you guys think? I only have 54% of the vote, 63% of the vote. Go, go. I know Emma can't get the vote unless she got it this time, but she said yes, so that counts. So I have Emma's percent of the vote. That would be 8 out of 11, which is, oh, wait, 8 divided by 73% of the vote. Now I have 9 divided by 11. Woohoo! 82% of the vote. So I still have 2 people who are in La La Land a little bit, but that's okay. I'll take it. Not so bad. So we're going to talk about squares. What does it mean when you square something? So like, for example, that first one there, what is 3 squared? What does that mean? What am I doing there? Am I being crazy? Quit being crazy, Jen. 3 times 3. Yeah, the exponent tells you how many times you multiply it by itself. So 3 times 3, what does that give me, Emma? 9, right. Very good. What about the next one? What am I multiplying there? What am I multiplying in the next one? If the first one was 3 times 3, what is this one? Cade, Nadia, Audrey, Marina, Chase, Freya, Addie, Nathan. What do you guys think? Yeah, you're right. Very, very good. -3 times -3. And that also gives me 9. Very good. So what is the square root of 9 then? Square root is the opposite of squaring. We would actually say it's 3. I like the way you're thinking though, Cade. You're thinking reverse. When I'm saying square root says, what did I square to get 9? And our answer was 3. Oops, not the square root of 3. But what else was it? What else could you square to get 9? Can you square -3 to get 9? That's what you get when you square 9. Yup. What else do you square to give you 9? -3. Yeah, it could be 3 or -3. Most commonly, people will use that 3, but that -3 is still there. It could be both. Good, good. Okay, so let's think about our perfect squares because it really helps us. And if I were you, I would take this moment and write them down. Have them right in front of you because these are perfect squares you guys should all recognize. Okay? So let us start with 2 squared. What's 2 squared? 2 squared is 2 times 2, which is 4. So that means that the square root of 4 is what? What's the square root of 4? And you can write it right on the screen. That's okay. It's 2. Right, very good. What about 3 squared? You know, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to write these on here. Whoa. I'm going to write them correctly on here. You guys go ahead and fill it in. Good. They put 9 there, so that means that's 9. These are so good to recognize. The ones I know and I have memorized are right up to 13 there. Emma, very good. Very good. Yep, you gave us 9, which is 81. Good job. 100. Yep. Good stuff. So you guys are writing this down right in front of you. It just helps to have it available. Very good. Yeah, very good. All right, those are our perfect squares. Those are numbers that if we should see, we should get a little more automatic with it. Okay, so square root of 16, 4. Square root of 100, 10. We want to try and get automatic with it. So make sure that you have that copied. So when you are done copying that, I don't know where my thing went. Where did it go? Oh, that's fine. Yeah, go ahead and keep writing them down. That's all right. That's what I want you to do. I'll fix it. Don't worry. I just have to get my meeting controls back. There we go. Nope. Oh, that was you. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay, I'm going to send out my poll again just to tell me that we're ready to go and no one is still copying. Still waiting for a few more voters. And can you just calculate those? Of course you can. There's definitely a way to enter that into your calculator. You just hit the square root symbol and then the number. But if you can recognize it, it makes it go so much quicker. Anybody still writing? All right, I am ending. Okay. So those, thanks, Emma. Those are our perfect squares. Okay, so when we find the square root, we can use a bunch of those tricks. You can just enter it into the calculator. Totally fine. So we could just take this guy and put it right into Desmos and figure out what it is. But see that 121? That 121 is one of our perfect squares. So what is the square root of 121? You can also use a bunch of these patterns. Yeah, it's 11, right. And then we would probably, I think we had one of those zeros. Yeah, and here's where I'm not good at knowing, like, yeah, so here's where I would double check by entering it into Desmos. So if you go to Desmos, you can enter in square root, oh, clear all. Square root 1, shoot, what was the number? I forgot what it was. 12100. There we go. Ah. Yeah, very good. Emma got it. So this is where I would get confused. I would be like, am I adding 1 0 or 2 zeros? You would just add one of the zeros. But this is a great one to check in the calculator. Cool. Okay. So next one, we have to, oops, we have to find the square root of 289 over 324. Again, you totally can Desmos that guy. What's important to know is that if you're taking the square root of the fraction, that is the same as the square root of 289 over the square root of 324. Who can put that in Desmos and tell me what the answer is? There is the link for Desmos again, guys. Go ahead and try it. I want you to type that in either way, and then you should be able to tell me what the answer is. I will put it in my calculator too. Desmos does have a calculator app. It is pretty nifty. See? Oh, it's kind of hard to tell. It's just white with the buttons at the bottom. Emma says 17 over 18. Do you guys agree? What do you guys think? Marina, do you agree? Cade, Nadia, Nathan? Do you guys agree with what Emma said, Freya? Kate agrees. Do you need me to show that, guys? Should I show it? Let me show it. Just for grins. So we go to Desmos and we're going to type in, we're going to hit enter, and we're going to type in the square root of 289 divided by 324. And look at the crazy decimal you get, right? But we're just going to click on the circle next to it, and that tells us 1718. It's very good. Go, Emma. Go, Emma. All right. Questions on that one? And these are kind of the same way. What do you think this would be with this 1.69? That looks an awful lot like the square root of 169, which is one of our perfect squares. What's the square root of 169? What do you guys think? What's the square root of 169? 13, yeah. So if I have 1.69, there's going to be a decimal in there. I'm thinking it's 1.3, but let's double check just because I confuse that with the zeros and with decimals and all that. So we'll go to Desmos. I'm just going to do it in my calculator. So I'm going to clear that, and I'm going to enter in the square root of 1.69. Ah. Okay, 1.3. 1.3. So when you take the square root of a number like that, that looks familiar, you just put the decimal in the same spot. What about down here? How does that one work? This is the square root, the negative square root of 9. So they want you to first find the square root of 9 and then make it negative. That is negative 3. Yeah, square root of 9 is 3, then they want it negative. Good. All right. This one's a little redundant. So this one says the square root of 21 squared. Squared and square root are opposites of each other. So what do you think the final answer here would be? What's the square root of 21 squared? What do you guys think? If this square root and the square are almost like opposites, they cancel each other out. Whenever you have opposites, they cancel out. 21. Yeah, very good. It's just going to be 21. And down here, what am I really doing there? 7 and the radical of 225. Would that be potentially another Desmos one? But we first have to take the square root of what number? What do you guys think? What would we do first in this expression? What is the square root of 225? Hold on, I'm going to eat a cracker. Come on, guys, you can put it in Desmos. It's okay. What's the square root of 225? 105, is that what it is? Okay. Oh, the full answer. And you are absolutely correct. Very good. What did you do after you took the square root? Good job. You guys are right. Nice work. Yeah. You take the square root of this 225, and that's 15, and then you multiply by 7, which is 105. Very good. We're almost done, friends, I promise. Okay, so when we simplify here, okay, take a look at this one up here. This is like saying what number was squared to give you negative 36. That's what it's asking. What number would you square to get negative 36? What do you guys think? What number squares to give you negative 36? And remember, with squaring, you got to multiply it by itself. Okay, so let's think about squaring negative 6. That's a logical answer. Negative 6 times negative 6, what does that give you? Not 36 squared, Chase. We're thinking what number squared gives you negative 36? And I don't think negative 6 would work, right? Because negative 6 times negative 6 is a positive 36. So what about negative 36? How do we square a number and get negative 36? So you're saying first square it, then make it negative, Emma? And you'd be right. That's the only way you can do that. There is no number that you can just take the square root. So if you guys see a negative number under that square root sign, you would say no real number. You can't do it. There is no number you can just square to get negative 36. So the answer would be, and Emma, that answer would be correct if it was asking for this. Good. Last one. Last one. Who wants to do the very last one? Ooh, I lied. Okay, third last. Sorry. Almost done. Okay, we got to simplify this radical. Okay. So radical 17 fourths is the same as radical 17 over radical 4. I wrote 16. Chat. Okay, radical 4 I can take care of. What does radical 4 equal? And a radical is another name for a square root. What's the square root of 4? 2. Yeah, so that one's fine. But look at the top there. Radical 17. I would get a decimal, right? It's not one of our perfect squares. If you put it into Desmos, you get a big long decimal. I can tell you what to get. So 17 square rooted is like 4.12 blah, 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 blah. So that's not simplified. Whenever they say simplify, they mean no decimals. So the only thing you can do is you can keep this as the square root of 17. That's it. So this would be your final simplified answer. You took the square root of what you could, and whatever you can't, you left in the radical. Does that make sense? Emma, you're not wrong with 2.06, but they want it to be simplified, and that means no decimals allowed. Does that make sense, friends? We have 2 more questions, 2 more. And I just want to make sure you're good to go. Are you still with me? Are we alive? I am alive. Okay, these are our last 2 questions. Since it's our last 2, humor me. I want to find out who has life out there. So you ready for the last 2? Last 2, last 2. Thanks for putting stuff in chat, you guys. Very good. Good. Okay. I got most of you. So this one right here, this one shows up right in your homework. Is radical 157 between 12 and 13? And all you got to do is we're just going to figure out what 12 squared is and 13 squared is and ask ourselves if that falls between there. That's it. So what is 12 squared? What's 12 squared? 12 times 12? Friends and neighbors, what is that? 144, yep. What is 13 squared? 169, very good. Is 157 between those 2 numbers? Yes, it sure is. So since 157 is between these 2 squared, we would say the answer to 157 square rooted is between 12 and 13. So this is true. So all you do is you square those numbers they're asking about, and if this number falls between them, then it's true. That's it. Make sense? We have one more. Una más. Una más. And this, I think, is the most important. We have to simplify that radical, and we're going to use something called the product rule. So we want to rewrite that 27 using one of those perfect square numbers. So do you guys remember our perfect squares? 2 squared was 4, 3 squared was 9, 5 or 4 squared is 16, and so on and so forth. I want to use one of those to rewrite 27 because I want to write it into two factors and one of them has to be a square root. What are two numbers that multiply to be 27? What do you guys think? What multiplies to be 27? And if you're not sure, start at the top, divide by 2. And say, can 27 divide by 2? No. That would give you a decimal. What about 3? 27 divided by 3? 3 and 9, Emma. And that's perfect because 9 is a perfect square. So I would rewrite this. Instead of the square root of 27, I would have the square root of 3 times 9. And which one of those can I take the square root of? The 3 or the 9? The 9. So I'm going to do that, and when I do that, I pull it out of the square root symbol. So my answer would be 3 square root 3. And that is called simplest radical form. And that is it. That's all you can do. Are there any questions? Oh, is there another one? There is another one. But we can skip that one. Should we skip that one, guys? We can skip it. I feel like I've tortured you enough. We can. Does anybody have any questions? If you don't have questions, you can write, bye, Jen, and you can skedaddle. But if you do have questions, you can hang out and ask me. Bye. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Bye. Ooh, that was quite a lesson today. Bye. Thank you so much. Audrey, I will get you login info. Bye, Cade. Bye, Nathan.